Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive Thing figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini mates, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
Alright, so I've got Ben Grimm, aka the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing, out of the package, and this is a huge hunk of plastic, a solid offering here from Marvel Legends. You're getting a lot for 20 bucks here. The new figure smell is extremely potent, and this guy is heavy, and you guys are going to really like this figure. I like him a lot. I do have a few issues, but this is a very good figure from Hasbro. Finally, we will complete Fantastic Four from Hasbro Marvel Legends, and a good version of Fantastic Four. We've had quite a few hits and misses with the characters from the team, and things matching, and some things looking good and some things looking horrible, but I think Hasbro pretty much nailed this here. So let's look at his accessories. So out of the package, he comes with a fisted right hand and a semi sort of clenched open left hand. And he does have the matching hands, which was great. You know, sometimes Hasbro just kind of leaves us high and dry as far as the hands go. But you do get two fists and two open hands. So I'm going to swap on the other fist first. And there he is with both fists swapped on. And true to form, he's got 4 fingers on each hand. Well, 3 fingers and a thumb. But that is accurate to the comics and to the character. And these look fine. Swapping them out was no issue. And then there he is with both semi-open hands, and obviously these can be used for him to grasp things or other people, or these can be used for him to just be like, why do I look like this? And taking a close look at this head sculpt before I swap on the additional head that he comes with. So he's packed in with the sort of mean mug, the stone mug, if you will. And this looks great, man. You can see his teeth, and you can see he's really mean mugging. He's out there thugging, and you definitely wouldn't want to tango with this guy. And yeah, I don't really have any issues with the face, man. The eyes came out pretty good. They look decent. You can definitely see that his eyes are blue, and I like the shape of it, and I like the way the jaw kind of comes up, and he's kind of got that little overbite. This just looks really true to form, and I love the look of the figure, man. I like this head sculpt. So let's swap on the other. And yes, the head is on a ball joint, so you can see the peg. And there's the additional head sculpt, which is more like a relaxed sort of neutral look, which is great. I'm so happy that they included an extra head and extra hands in here, man. Like I always say, that really gives the figure some personality, especially if you are a toy photographer or you in the A.C.B.A. You know, you need that if you want to do panels, or if you want to do anything, you know, dynamic or versatile, then you're definitely going to need these interchangeable heads and hands. So please, Hasbro, keep doing that with all the figures. But yeah, this head looks fine as well. Same shape for the most part. You know, his mouth is just closed. The eyes look decent. And taking a good look at his deco, I mean, he's not really wearing much of anything. He's just got the shorts on. You guys let me know in the comments. Would you have preferred the long pants for Thing or the shorts? Personally, I like the shorts. If at some point they want to give us another thing with the long pants, I'll take it for sure. But the detail and everything here looks excellent. This definitely looks rocky. It definitely looks like it is stone, and they did a nice job with the shading and the texture in here. I mean, this whole thing just feels really cool, and it looks good, man. I mean, I could see some people maybe going in and just adding a little more dry brushing or something on here. I don't know if it's really necessary, but just looking at the buck here, it looks very good, man. They did an excellent job with this sculpt. I'd like to know who actually sculpted this figure. I think they did a great job. I definitely think this is the best thing that we've received so far. And just taking a look at the shorts, you can see little creases and whatnot in his shorts. I can see one little paint imperfection there on his butt, another one there. But for the most part, everything looks really clean. Alright, going over his articulation real quick, you saw that the head was on a ball joint. So in order for you to actually move the head up and down, you may have to remove the head and then position the neck where you want it, because you're trying to move the head on the peg. It's a little difficult, so you can actually position the peg down and get him to look down, and do the same thing when you want him to look up. So no issues there. It can turn left to right, do a full 360. You get a good range of motion on the head. Shoulders are on a ball joint. They're going to come up just about that far. You can actually do a full 360. This is one of my issues with the articulation, that they didn't give him an upper bicep swivel. They could have easily put a cut in here, I think. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't do that, but shoulders on a single jointed elbow, that'll swivel, and you get a hinge and a swivel on the wrist. You get upper torso articulation. It'll rotate. You'll get them to go down a bit. You'll get them to go back a bit. His head's popping off. Same thing on both sides as far as the arms go. You do get waist articulation aside from this upper torso articulation, which is great. T-joint at the pelvis. Legs are going to come up that far. Split, it's going to come out pretty far. For thing, you do get an upper thigh swivel. I was a little concerned that you wouldn't get anything here, but you do. His legs are kind of short, so the swivel is down there. You do get a double jointed knee. You get a nice hinge on the foot and a deep ankle pivot as well. So not bad. I would have liked to see a cut on the bicep and maybe just a bit more ab articulation, but not really necessary. You can definitely get them into some good poses. All right, size comparison time. We're gonna move through these quickly. We have the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave, Juggernaut Build-A-Figure on the left, and we have the Walmart exclusive Thanos on the right. You can see how those stack up. And there he is next to the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure on the left and the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure on the right. And I wanted to get this size comparison going because I'm not gonna do too many with the older Hulks, because I am under the belief that Hasbro is going to give us a comic-based Hulk with this particular buck. So I want you guys to see how these two stack up next to each other. And Thing should absolutely be smaller than Hulk. And, Thing is sort of like short and stocky, whereas Hulk is a little bigger. And so I think these two look fine together. And then there he is next to the Spider Build-A-Figure Wave Daredevil on his immediate left, and on the far left the House of M Spider-Man from that same wave. And then the Battle for Asgard box set Ulick the Troll on the far right, and you can see Ulick is larger than Thing. And I don't know, I think that might be right. I'm not 100% sure on that, but this was probably one of the best figures out of that box set. If you didn't get a chance to get this guy, then you kind of missed out. But yeah, moving right along. And then there he is next to the Ultimate Riders Wolverine. And we know that Wolverine and Thing have had a lot of run-ins in the comics and a love-hate relationship. And I think those size up pretty nicely. And then this newer buck from the Doc Ock from the Spider Build-A-Figure Wave, just so you can see how that looks. Alright, allow me to flex on y'all a little bit. You know I got range. I've been collecting Marvel Legends since the very beginning, including all of the related sister lines, like the Classics lines. So on the left, this is the Spider-Man Classic Spider-Hulk, which I think still goes for a pretty penny online. And on the right, the Face-Off Hulk, which I think is one of Toy Biz's best sculpts. You can see over time, he's got a little discolored. You can see his chest and arms look a little different. But this is still a very nice classic looking Hulk. I'd like to see Hasbro do a classic Hulk that looks this good. And then we got the old Toy Biz classic like first appearance Thing. I believe that was the label on him when it came out, and you can see how much shorter he is than this new Thing, but it is sort of the look from the first appearance of Thing in the comic books, if I'm not mistaken. And on the right we have the classic Toy Biz first appearance Hulk. I think it was I think he was labeled the first appearance Hulk as well. I'm doing this off the top of the head as usual, but you can see how those stack up. Alright, then we have the old Toy Biz House of M box set, the It on the left, and that is a box set that's still going for a lot of money online. And this sculpt on this figure was great. I wanted to see more figures from House of M from Toy Biz at the time. Now, maybe Hasbro can do them over, but this It figure is very, very nice. As you can see, the sculpt looks good. I think the rocky sort of texture looks a little bit better on this newer Thing. But again, this box set from Toy Biz was probably a little bit ahead of its time with the other figures that came in that pack too, especially that Iron Man and the Hulk. They used the old Toy Biz mold, one of their best molds for Hulk, for the Hulk in that box set. And whatever, I'm spending too much time on that, but this It is the truth. And on the far right, we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends Thing. This is when Marvel Legends first returned, and they did a Fantastic Four that looks terrible compared to this Fantastic Four that you're about to see shortly here. And this guy had the Beetlejuice head on the right. Obviously, his head was really small. I kind of liked this thing, though, when it came out, but he was a little on the small side, and they didn't really get the proportions right. And I can't quite remember, but I want to say this thing on the left is from the Fantastic Four Classics line, because he's got a little gimmick, as does the thing on the right, which is definitely from the Fantastic Four Classics line. This is probably one of the best older things, if not the best that we've had before now. And you can see he's a little taller than this version, but I just like the texture and the look of the rocky sort of skin for this newer thing over the older one. But you can see the older one is good looking, but he had a gimmick as well. So arms going the wrong way, and this guy had a gimmick where if you like turn him, he'll spring back, but you couldn't turn the waist, so that was the issue with that guy. You know, there was issues with these guys, but this one had decent articulation, and you know, he looked good. And finally here I have the old Toy Biz, I believe it's Series 2 thing on the left and right. The one on the right was the regular release, if I'm not mistaken, and then they did a variant that had the trench coat and hat. And shout out to my man Wands, who commented on my picture on Instagram and reminded me to break this guy out on the left, so that way I can try the trench coat and hat on this newer thing, which I will do momentarily. But you can see they didn't quite nail the sort of rocky sort of look for the old Toy Biz one. But again, when this guy came out, he was pretty cool. He was pretty nice. Toy Biz was all over the place, though, because they gave this guy, you know, regular articulation on the arms and stuff like that, but then they gave him bendy wire in the hand so you can articulate the finger, and obviously everybody was just doing middle fingers and stuff like that. But you know, not the worst figure at all, but not the best. You know, Toy Biz was trying so many different things. They had so many different bucks. They must have spent so much money. And you can see they were slightly different between the two, between the regular release and the variant. He's got the white stripe on the shorts up there and the black hair, which kind of matches this new one, except the blues are different. This is a more modern sort of costume for Fantastic Four. Woo! We lit. This looks great. So this actually fits better than it does on the original figure. And we 2 for 2 with borrowing things from Toy Biz and putting them on the new Hasbro figures as far as my reviews go, because in the Doc Ock review I was able to swap on the old Toy Biz Doc Ock arms on the new Doc Ock, and here we go with the Series 2 thing, trench coat and hat, and this fits really nice. You know, I haven't even actually pulled his little strap here or tied it up or anything, but this is just it sitting closed on its own, you know. And the hat fits pretty good. It looks good. You can put it down. This looks good. Tie this up if you want. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's dope. Might have to mess with the sleeves a little bit, but yeah, if you've got the old Toy Biz thing, you popping right now. This is about to go up crazy. On the secondary, you're going to see everybody running out to grab this thing because this looks dope. I think before now, a lot of people were using this coat for like Raphael, for Ninja Turtles, but it was a little too big. And this fits perfectly, man. This looks dope. This figure actually came with some shades, too. Let me see if I can find them. Aren't you glad I'm organized? I keep all my stuff organized in bins with different accessories. Now, these don't look that great, but they do. They didn't look that great on the original figure either, but you know, it works. Looking like a straight pervert stalker, come in the van and play Nintendo thing right here. But, you know, it works. I'm really just more excited about the jacket, the fit of the jacket, and the hat. But I'm glad I still do have everything. And finally, there's a look at the complete team, all the stock versions of each team member. These were all Walgreens exclusives. Hasbro stuck to the script, gave us a complete team, gave us Marvel's first family, and gave us a good-looking version of them, the best that we've ever had, no doubt about it, because there have been a lot of failures with them trying to give us a complete Fantastic Four. All of the sculpts here look fantastic, no pun intended. But my gripe with these is, for one, the head sculpt on Human Torch was painted weird. It was a little too light, so I'll show you a different option of that momentarily. And the fact that Invisible Woman didn't have any swappable arms or swappable hands for that right arm, so that way you don't have to always display her with her kind of utilizing her power. And you know, she should have came with extra hands, and aside from the elongated bendy wire arms that we got for Mr. Fantastic, he should have come with 2 fists or some open hands or some different things as well. And there's a look at H.E.R.B.I.E, who was actually packed in with Invisible Woman. And shout out to my man Craig Warwick, who hooked me up with this variant Human Torch head. He just painted one of the stock heads to better match the body, so you can see that looks a lot better. So I do have that option, and then I also have an extra Mr. Fantastic body. And double shout out to my man Craig Warwick, who hooked me up with this painted Johnny Storm head, which was an old Peter Parker head maybe, I think, but he gave me a powered down Johnny Storm. That looks great. I've showed this in another video before. Focus. Yeah, I've showed this in another video before, but you can see how good that looks. And that was one of the other things that I wish Hasbro would have done, was given us a nice powered down version of Johnny. I'm thinking that they're going to give us some box set of Fantastic Four. I'm thinking that with Fox and this whole Marvel buying the rights to the Fox properties, that they're going to really delve deeper into Fantastic Four and give us some more options here. And one more little bonus here, the old Toy Biz Franklin Richards. We can definitely use an updated Franklin Richards, and the daughter too, I'm forgetting her name, and any of those other kids that was running around in the backs of the building. I really do think that Hasbro is going to expand on the Fantastic Four. And also one more bonus, the old H.E.R.B.I.E that came in the box set with Franklin Richards and these other people. So you can see they had the more modern updated H.E.R.B.I.E there. This was like a really old school kind of, this looked like something from the Jetsons, baby. Alright, I gotta get up out of here. Maybe I'll do some more size comparisons in another video, maybe in main course or something else. I'll do some bonus footage, but this is one that I would highly recommend. There's no one that's going to be trying to pass up on thing and not complete their Fantastic Four. So he's going to be heavily sought after at retail. This hasn't quite showed up in Walgreens just yet. Again, this is a Walgreens exclusive. I was able to get him a little early from overseas. And shout out to my man Todd, aka Rektangular. His information will be in the description below, but he's made it possible for me to do a lot of these early reviews over the past couple weeks. He's always got the inside scoop, so big shout out to him. And yeah, I'm interested to see where they're going to take this and what else they're going to do as far as Marvel's first family is concerned. But I'm happy with this guy. Like I said, I would recommend him. Get out there, try to find him. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell down there. And until next time, peace.
That's crispy.